Greetings. I see that Facebook switched the thing up. So I am going to share this out. Wait for some folks to come on. Let's see. Okay. Better. There we go. While I wait for some folks to gather, I am going to burn some roses. Where are they? Hey, y'all. Greetings. Welcome. This is Womb Goddess Temple. Tonight we are going to be talking about sovereignty and ancestral protection, the alchemy of it, okay? So first I want to burn some roses. Send out that beautiful energy to y'all. This is Womb Goddess Temple, so this space is not for the masculine. If you are a masculine, please leave this space. This space is contained for the goddesses, for the infinite divine protection, for our nourishment. Ashe. So pretty, right? Look at that. These were actually pink roses. All right, so we're going to get started in a minute. I just wanted to give it a little bit of time. Let some folks come in the room. Come on in, take your shoes off, relax, get comfortable. I'm up in here teaching and transmitting tonight. Come on in the room. We're talking about feminine energy alchemy around sovereignty and ancestral protection. Earlier today, I was talking about this key frequency of the real protective magic is your sovereignty. This message came down to me this morning, so I wanted to share it out with y'all tonight. So come all, goddesses. Relax, take your shoes off. This is a time for transmission and connection in Womb Goddess Temple and Sisterhood. Ashe. There we go. That feels so good. So first I got all my notes. I want to open up in prayer, shall we? Just come to a place of gratitude and thanksgiving within yourself, within your womb, within your core. Whenever you catch this live stream, whenever you catch the replay, it is perfect for you. Okay? But tonight, I noticed the moon is in Aquarius. I went outside and the night sky is so clear and so beautiful. And I just felt that energy of just the fullness of the moon, which I can't see, which I know is there. And it's in my sign Aquarius. So I was just like, oh, I feel that energy. I want to invite you to take time to moon gaze on all the phases, not just the actual full moon. There's medicine there in seeing the moon mother. Drop down. Into your womb. I'm going to call forth the womb goddess containment. May this stream be blessed. May the technology be blessed. May the information be blessed. May the transmission be blessed. May the ancestors be pleased. May your heart, your womb, your soul, your feminine system, and your highest best self receive fully what is here for you. Ashe. Ashe. Okay. Just breathe here with me. Releasing the day. It's nighttime here on the East Coast. Releasing and setting all your cares aside, all your to-do lists aside, all that was on your head aside. Let's just set it down, place it, give it to the mother, and allow your highest self to take a step forward so that you can receive what's here for you tonight. Daytime, whenever you receive this stream. Come and sit with me, my sister. I want you to bring all your intention and your attention to your soul. Connecting with your soul. You know, throughout all of our energy systems, all of our energy centers, we hold soul portals within us, centers. When I connect with the energy of soul, where does that land at in your body? For me, that lands in my womb, that lands in my pussy. I feel it all in my solar plexus. So I want to invite you to connect with the energy of soul within yourself. Oh, do you know how good it feels to be soul sovereign? Connect with the frequency of soul sovereignty. It feels so good to be sovereign. I believe it and I know it. In my heart, in my soul. It feels so good to be sovereign. I believe and I know in my heart and soul. And feel in your body where that lands for you. Ooh, I feel it here. I feel it in my cervix. I could feel it. It feels so good to be sovereign. I know it's true and I believe it in my heart and soul. That's the thread. That's the thread. It feels so good to be sovereign. I know it. I believe it's true for me. I connect with it in my heart and soul. Where did that land for you? That's all in my pussy. I feel it. Sovereignty, soul sovereignty. It feels so good to be sovereign. I believe and I know in my heart, in my soul. Let that expand. See, you know, when you connect to pleasure and feeling good, it's an opener. It's an opener. The pleasure, that's Ushun energy. It's an opener. And connecting to pleasure from a place of soul sovereignty gives you that juice. It's like this lubrication that you need when you begin to unravel all the patterns that is within your womb, your holy pelvic bowl, your heart, your ancestral lineage. But when you connect to the goodness, you connect to the goodness of sovereignty in your consciousness, and let that weave and bless your ancestral lines. You connect to the pleasure of it, the goodness of it, the truth of it. And that's where you receive the nourishment. So when you are in that time where you're going deep and you're dropping and you're dropping and you're looking at the egoic patterns and you're looking at the ancestral patterns and you're looking and you're seeing these things in your family and you're unwinding and you're doing your lineage work, you're devoting. It's that it feels good. That softens you. And that soul opens you, where you can feel the goodness of sovereignty because you are doing it and you're doing the best that you can, and it is full, it is enough in your soul. Every thread, every strand, every thought, every word, every action that is for the good of your evolution evolves the next and the next and the next. The next daughter, the next son, the next womb. It nourishes the ancestral energies back and back. It's enough. You sitting here, being here in womb goddess frequency, it's enough. So receive the blessing of soul. I am so sovereign. Yes, I am so sovereign. And it feels so good. So let us weave on this thread, Ashe. Soul sovereignty, protection, ancestral magic, and the truth that real protective magic is your sovereignty. What do I mean by that? Real protective magic is your sovereignty. It's your queen mother, and its function is your divine choice. It's connecting from that seat of power that is within you, wherever you feel your soul energy at, right? Pussy, womb, heart. I feel my source point in my womb. Wherever that resonates with you, Ashe, that is where you connect. That is a space within all of your systems to be able to connect with the energy of sovereign and power and truth. There's this beautiful connection that I found with the womb portal and the ORI, the highest self, and how you can bless yourself to be in a seat of sovereignty through your thoughts, through your highest self. I'm sorry, I'm just getting a little distracted here with seeing faces and stuff. And see who's coming on. I bless anybody who come on. Just jump on in, take a seat, take your shoes off, relax. I am going to ask you to go ahead and share this out to your folks, because who don't want to learn about sovereignty in the womb, and the mothers and the ancestors? Everybody do. So please go ahead and share this out, because we want to share and expand the frequency. So some time ago, I connected from this place of divine sovereignty through the womb, and I realized this connection of ORI, according to Yoruba tradition, we could also say the highest self, right? I'm going to speak that language because it's a language that I vibe with. So I realized this deep, nourishing connection between ORI and womb. right? And vibrating in this connection between my head, my highest self, my guardian angel, my own head, my highest, most sovereign self. My ORI, she who knows what's best for me at all times and is always alchemizing me to move me back to the fulfillment of my destiny, the contract that I made when I came into this earth, my soul agreement. ORI. And how that energy weaves and goes, shifts down into my womb and having this beautiful just dance and connection of wisdom, power, sovereign truth, functioning, weaving back up, wisdom, power, sovereign truth, functioning, weaving back up, wisdom, power. See that eternal sovereign truth, and very practical, very, very practical in such a way that it transforms your thoughts, right? Transform your thoughts so that your thinking and the thoughts that you are radiating out to the world nourishes your destiny and nourishes your divine sovereignty through your choices. I am renewed in my mind, right? So having that renewal and constant blessing of your head in your own power and your own ashe, right? You want to do the traditional work, connect with the Bible, whoever you do, that's according to the tradition. And you in your own inner priestess, devoting yourself to weaving that connection of how can I connect with sovereignty? Do you know that wisdom is also a form of protection? Well, how do I be wise? My head is the wisest. I know. I have soul energy connection in my highest self. I have soul energy connection in my womb. I have soul energy connection in my pussy. And in this way, I can connect with the wisdom and how I am assigning and placing my life force energy according to divine choices and nourishing myself in that and recycling my ashe in such a way that I am living and breathing and fulfilling my divine destiny and soul contract according to what is true and real for me in function and in form, and calling forth all that is in the divine feminine realm that I nourish and I nourish, and it's here and I can feel it and I can experience because I am sovereign and I am choosing to activate that sovereignty through divine responsibility, choice. And in that, there is wisdom, and the wisdom is what gives you the protection. Why? Because you're not continually making decisions that unravel, dissolve, block, whatever you want to call it, and keep on putting stuff in your own way because you are an enemy unto yourself. Oh my goodness, God has helped me to not be an enemy and cause my own self-harm. Bless my head. Free me of inner and outer harm. Allow me to walk in true sovereignty, that my choices will be aligned in my highest self through my thoughts, through my words, through my heart, through what I radiate, through my deeds, throughout my whole womb and pelvic bowl and all that I am. May I be in alignment with this wisdom, because wisdom, right-mindedness, is a form of protection. Now I'm getting to the alchemy of, we're talking about protection. The alchemy of protection. The alchemy of protection is not just getting all your things, right? Yes, we do the Lakis. We do all the medicine according to our various traditions. We do that, yes. And the protection comes in working of your own system, in the energy of sovereignty and full responsibility. By unraveling the energies that is within my soul that I carry, that is part of the feminine collective, that's part of my ancestral stuff, that's part of my own life womb stuff. By saying and taking responsibility, saying, it all belongs to me, all of it. And I am willing to unravel those patterns for my soul, for my freedom, for the fulfillment of my destiny that I contracted with. Ashe. So throughout my, hope that blesses you. Give me some hearts, some thumbs up. Let me know y'all with me. Y'all in this room flowing with me tonight. So I want to tell y'all something. Let me get back to this. I want to tell y'all something. During my Moon Mother initiation, right? So that was several months ago at this point, at least, 2 or 3 months now. During my Moon Mother initiation, which is now the lineage that I function in my womb healing practice and devotion, where I'm connected with like a global sisterhood of like over 6,000 around the world, doing this work into the Divine Mother, into the feminine and within ourselves. I began a devotion, and I wanted to tell y'all about it at the time, but I was just in the alchemy. And I began a devotion where I connected with my ORI, right, in my womb. So for me at that time, I work a lot with my feminine system, just alchemizing, looking at those threads, looking at those patterns, looking at what's coming up, being a sacred observer. I see something, I feel something, I have a connection, I have an interaction, something lands with me, and I feel the ego patterns. I do the unraveling of these threads and nourishing myself in that process through pussy, right? Through central womb goddess energy alchemy, right? And blessing and having the support of my ancestors along the way. And so this is just part of what I do. And so I began to connect with Ori in a different way. In a different way, I began to weave the energy of Ori to gain, to nourish sovereignty, and right-mindedness. And so I was guided to do a ritual, right? So if you have a womb altar, and of course I can help you erect a womb altar during my womb immersions and stuff like that. But if you have a womb altar or an altar where it's just like a box and it's an altar, whatever you need to do, you do, and you connect with the energy in a way that's for you. I went a long time with a womb altar, then I didn't fool with it for a long time. And I just worked primarily in my system because I am the altar that alters, Ashe, and so are you. And so I did erect my current altar in devotion to being a moon mother and just in my system. And what I noticed is that my feminine system loves it. I love a womb altar, right? I have all my moon mother stuff and all the things, right? And so every single thing that I place on my altar, I feel it immediately in my system. My womb altar is a shrine in that I give offerings unto myself and unto my womb, the altar of my womb, right? The altar of my pussy. And it's a shrine in that way, in devotion, and it's a working altar as well, both, right? And so I found myself doing an Ori devotion. Immediately when I gave myself these offerings, I simply gave myself a coconut and some shea butter, and I blessed it, did the light, simple devotion, because this is what I was called to do. And so I gave myself the coconut, I gave myself the shea butter, I lit a white light, said my prayers, did all the things, right? Set it on my womb altar. Remember, I do not take away from traditional medicine according to all of our African religion traditions and what we follow. Yes, and for me, yes, and I am sovereignty, and I do womb goddess alchemy. Okay, my tradition. Ashe. So this is what I was called to do according to my soul, my sovereignty in my womb. And so I went ahead and I gave myself that offering. Immediately, I felt all of this white energy just rolling into my system, pouring out clarity. And I felt instantaneous, just a washing, and the sovereignty just came over me of rightful right-mindedness in thinking. And not only that, I felt the power of through my womb portal and the connection of ORI and womb and ORI and womb and ORI and womb. So I have that. I went ahead, disposed of it, did all my things. I have the shea butter. And so I jarred the shea butter. And whenever I feel like I want to have an extra blessing, I'll just rub some of that shea butter in. Because your beauty also, you can rub your scalp down with oil and stuff. And, we enchant our products, right? So rub that on down, bless my wounds with some of that shea. Connect with that. And so I can feel my right-mindedness, and I can invoke the energy of wisdom, because what? Ancestral wisdom, womb wisdom, pussy wisdom, heart wisdom, the wisdom of your feminine, the great mother, all of the wisdom, the crone mother. All of this wisdom is what aligns you up with being as your sovereign self, because you can operate in a place of divine choice to where you are not continuously causing yourself harm by way of you. Self-harm. Yes and. Why is there a yes and? There's a yes and because everything that we do, even the choices that we feel like were mistakes and things like that, it just aligns us up back with love. Even the kinky stuff that we do to cause ourselves harm because we want to feel alive. And, we do all these things, right? To experience ourselves as a shero, all of the human experiences of why we allow for harm, right? Including with people. And so I want you to well understand this one thing. Can't nobody cause you harm unless they get permission from you. Yes. No one can cause you harm. Not no one thing, not no thing, not nothing in this world. Not no force, no deity, not no soul, nothing can harm you without getting permission from you. So in that truth, ashe, where that land for you in your soul, in your body, I felt that in my pussy, because it's pure power to understand that, and you can dissolve victimization, and then you can come back around and something happened, I feel triggered, I have these egoic triggers, and shame came up, and fawning came up, and flight or flight came up, or that irked my nerves, or this came up, and this happened, and that didn't feel like it was an agreement to me, and I didn't like the way that thinking, and da-da-da, all of the things, the living the life, the situations, all of the conditions that you didn't necessarily feel like you liked. You permitted it. You permitted it. And so in this, you are sovereign by taking divine responsibility. No one can hurt you because of that. Whew, don't that give you a relief? No one can hurt you. Nothing can hurt you. Nothing can harm you unless you absolutely agree to that, because you want to have the experience. You want to play the game. That's it. I promise you, I once believed I needed all of this protection stuff and this and that and this and that. And I was running on this thread of fear. But what I truly needed was to unravel me. What I truly needed was to connect with the sovereignty of me. What I truly needed was to connect to how do I embody and feel on a visceral level? How do I grok it in my soul? How do I get it in my thoughts? How do I get it in my body to connect to my power and thus my sovereignty? Well, for me, it's through the womb, it's through the pussy. This is just what it is. That's the path. That's the way. Okay, this is what aligns with me. This is how I feel full and whole. Oh, this is how I feel good. And I feel so sovereign. These things. And so I do more of those things. And I nourish that thing. And in this way, I feel my sovereignty. And so I have my notes. I'm going to go to them. I'm going to get to these notes because it's good. And I also posted. I said I was going to post it last time. There's so many. But I want to tell you, if you are on my Womb Goddess list, it's best to get on there, inbox me, whatever, so you can connect. Because I send out lots of writing. Okay. And so I'm going to get to this. All right. What I needed was to be responsible of the causes. Let your soul get this in your body. Of the causes of conditions in my life. What I needed was to look at the spaces where I enjoyed suffering and why. And there's nothing wrong with it. Sometimes suffering feels good, right? Sometimes it just feels good to suffer. I know, contrary to popular belief, there will always be suffering in the world of that end of our own choosing. Why did it feel so good? And in that, what was the root of it? And getting to it, going down into it, and going further down into it, and getting beneath it, and getting beneath the shame, and the childish blame, and all of the egoic patterns, and all the ways I don't take responsibility, and to see where the actual root cause of this condition, this thread, the way I think, respond, and talk, and this and this and that, and now I see the manifestation in my reality because this and this and that, and it doesn't feel good. Oh, I don't really want to experience this, but you do. Because why? You are 100% sovereign. How powerful are you? How powerful are you? That you created such an experience and you can undo it, such an experience. And you have the power because you have the cellular memory and the ashe of your ancestors to do the lineage work to unravel that too. And it's such a beautiful devotion and connection to soul sovereignty. Ashe. Because the truth is, it all belongs to you. It's divine responsibility. Where there is power, there is responsibility. You cannot have power and sovereignty and not be responsible. It's impossible because you can't hold it. You got to claim it. This belongs to me. I claim it. I take full responsibility for it, and I activate it, and I move in it, and I unravel. I do the devotion. I do what's necessary in order to have my soul freedom, and thus freedom of my ancestors and my lineage. Period. It's the ancestral season, y'all. And so this is why I say unravel, and the frequency unravel. And you will hear me saying this all the time because that's what it is. It's an ongoing devotion and asking of why, and the commitment, and accepting and loving on it, and getting to it inside yourself, and doing that through womb, doing that through your sex, through your heart, through soul, because I am sovereign and I am responsible, and I am also responsible for my lineage. And then you ask, protect me, oh Goddess, protect me, oh God, protect me, most wise, honorable, loving, well ancestors in this responsibility, and guard my mind. That my mind and my thoughts will be in alignment with divine love and my divine birth blessings on this earth and on this planet, and I am sovereign in it. Woo! I am sovereign in it. Ashe. That's that. Do you get it? That ORI womb connection. Your ORI womb connection. Ashe. Infinite. That frequency of infinite. Yes. Here we consider all things. We call on ancestral love. We call on infinite divine love and all of the protective things that we have. All of the charms and the lights and all of the medicine, everything that we have that nourishes the feeling of protection in our system. This includes our ancestral mothers and our ancestral fathers, especially our ancestral fathers. Now, listen, Sunday, we're going to do the mother womb portal. We're going to come back on a full moon. All the mother stuff is going to be on Sunday, and on Wednesday, the full moon. I've already begun shifting into the father devotion, because the masculine is how our feminine gets to surrendering, relaxing that protection. The Father, we soften in our innocence. We feel that anchor. I got you. Ashe. And so all of this energetic is a fundamental in how we live as a living intention of unraveling patterns of victimization, of egoic patterns within ourselves and within our lineage. And so what are the ways that we are telling ourselves and having these stories that take us out of our sovereignty that is just not true? I bless you in having a heightened, acute awareness, peacefully, lovingly, and truthfully through the power of honesty. Oh my goodness. Honesty and confession and admission are 3 things that will set your soul free for sovereignty. I must admit to you, telling yourself, getting, oh God, underneath the shame. I do that all the time. Shame is an egoic pattern that I'm always in confrontation with, because I have shame will come up. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And then you know what? After I say, oh my God, I can't believe it, I go down. Okay, what's true? What's true? What's true? What's true? Let me get it. Let me get it. Let me get it. Okay, then I confess it out. What is the medicine here? What's the medicine here? Right? Asking the mother, my womb, asking goddess, asking the ancestors, asking the forces of nature, asking all that is for then the medicine to solve the understanding so that I can continue to unravel that, pour in love, connect to the energy of sovereignty, feel good, and walk in my power and birthright blessings in my full expression. Ashe, does that make sense to you? What I'm saying, does it make sense to you? That's what I really need to know. Okay, some folks need to maybe see the written. I'm going to have it available here. I want you to connect with your thought process on how you see protection. I'm talking about the alchemy of protection in releasing fear that something is going to happen to you, and having your nervous system all crazy because of this belief that something is going to happen. This belief that you're actually powerless and that you are not in control. Yes, you are in control. You're sovereign, and yes, you surrender at the same time to the infinite divine protection that allows for the feeling of protection to calm your nervous system, because you feel nourished and you feel loved. You feel good. Like I said, it feels so good to be sovereign, to believe and to know in my heart and in my womb. That's a connection. That's an energetic. When you feel the sovereignty, just like anything else, how we create on feelings. I feel so loved. How do I feel loved? Well, I feel this way, and therefore this is happening, and I feel loved in that way. Well, then that means that I am loved. In this, I am loved. Divine protection, the energy and the feelings of protection is just a form of love. So we connect with infinite divine protection through the frequency of sovereignty, because I am responsible and I have choices, and not nothing or no one can harm me unless I permit. That's the truth. That's the truth of most ARTs, according to honoring your own soul through your head, and according to Womb Goddess tradition, through your womb. Ashe. All for your freedom. So what are the ways you're telling yourself that these stories, or in the collective or in your ancestral system, the way your ancestors is set up, okay, the way your ancestral energy is set up, the way you see all this stuff around your family that's going on as evidence of, and knowing that it's okay to make the necessary adjustments, claiming it, and saying, I am the one, I am willing. Nourishing ancestral consciousness, not just by ritual and doing these things, but actually nourishing ancestral consciousness by unraveling the patterns that's going to make a difference in your actual lineage, that's going to change and transform your lineage epigenetics, through the power of epigenetics. Thoughts, feelings, actions, food, water, all the things that the conditions, all the stuff that you do in the earth, on earth side, that will allow for you to experience freedom and blessings in spiritual ashe on earth side, and all of the love that your womb heart can stand. Infinite divine intelligence, wisdom, gratitude, all of these things that we don't even like. There is no measure. There's no measure of radiating love. There's no measure of radiating wisdom. There's no measure of these things. Yes, in material possessions. Goddess has all things in her, and all things is in me, because Goddess have all things in her. So I'm just going to relax that there. Ashe. And the faith of my ancestors will allow for all of those things. Worry not, right? That's a continual devotion. Faith is a devotion. Faith is the energetic that we work in our system by living and committing. Faith, work, lineage, patterns, unraveling, and blessing. That is the work of me. That's the work that I'm putting out for Womb Goddess Temple. That is it. There's nothing else here. Unraveling and blessing and opening. Unraveling and blessing and opening. It's a continual thing. And it can feel good. So I will say this. In looking at how we feel and how we radiate this in our field is what matters. Allowing for all of the things, right? All of the things, all of the herbs and all of the medicines, all of the charms and all of the stuff to connect in our system. You know, when I give offerings to my shrine, I don't look for like the manifestation on the outside, like, whatever, right? The condition, the car, whatever, like the desire. The first thing I look for is connecting with how I feel. Woo, do I feel that in my system? Where did that land in my body? Oh, I gave Ushun an offering. And where did I hit? I gave Yemi an offering, right? The Orishas, that's part of my African religion tradition, right? In my own system, I gave my womb an offering. I give myself fresh flowers every womb phase. And the energy and the essence of those flowers, I can feel them working in my system. So we want to think about our feminine system. That's from a place of maturity, and take accountability for our feminine system. And we can go into this system to unravel and to access our ashe, our power, our sovereignty, our soul, our wisdom, and sit in our seat as Queen Mother, live in our divine worth blessing, and holding the responsibility, Mother, in whatever tradition that allows for that for you. Right? I'm pussy, I'm womb goddess. Right? So this is what's true. Feeling protection and radiating this in your field matters. Not everything is going to be necessarily how you can see and connect on the outside of you. It's an inward job. It's about getting to the why of your actual experiences. Why are you having these experiences? And why do you feel that you need protection? This panic. Something happened. Oh my goodness, the mother is calling us to grow up, right? Something happened. Somebody did this to me. Something's going to happen. Like, in order for us to occupy the space of full responsibility in our mother as women, which is necessarily for this planet, yes, right? The divine feminine's rising and all that stuff. One, the calming of our nervous system. Like, the calming of our nervous system and feminine responsibility, right? Like, those two together is going to get you far, right? And it's a continued devotion. Trust me, a continued devotion. And so when we think about that, we think about, like, why you feel like you need protection. Like, why you feel like you got to, like, do all this stuff and run on this pattern of fear. How many workers did you run to because you feel like protection? How many oils did you buy? How many candles did you do? How many spells? How much is occupying your energy because you feel like you need protection? Because it's just a feeling. Is it the actuality? In actuality, are you in fear? Like, is there a threat to your human life? Right now, this moment, you sitting here, you connecting with me. Is there a true threat? Do you got food? Do you got water? Are you do you have income? Is there an energy of love somewhere? Like, you feel love somewhere in your life. You're well. All is well in reality. And then there's the feeling, well, why do I have these feelings? What are these patterns? I'm going to tell you something. My grandfather on my dad's side from Mississippi, this summer I went through some serious ancestral alchemation, because of the fear that was running in my system behind being blackness. Let's just be honest, 100%. Mississippi, all right, terrible, terrible, terrible. All right, all of the things around being black in Mississippi. Okay, I don't have to talk about it. You know what it is. But that energy was running in my system. Whew, and I felt completely victimized. I had this egoic pattern that presented itself as this little girl and all of the things that she would do in order to protect herself. When I got to it, it was because of my ancestral father energy. Completely terror, just ancestral terror running in my system. I'm not the only one. Yet I am willing to take responsibility of that ancestral terror that's running in my system. Why? Because I'm not at peace. I want my peace. I want my power. I want my prosperous conditions. I want to feel full in my love. I don't want anything in my system that's going to separate me from love. Love looks like a check. Love looks like feeling and being open and fluid with my husband. Love looks like my mother. Love looks like me sitting down, relaxing, reading a book. Love looks like going to the cafe. Love looks like me sitting here with you. Love looks like me putting on my makeup to come on with y'all. I want to feel my whole life in the fullness of it in this lifetime. Okay? Ajay, I know somebody else feel that way. Okay? You want to feel it in this lifetime. We ain't got no games for the next. All right, for this lifetime. And so when we think about this energy of why do I feel like I need protection, and is it a feeling or is it a reality? And let me come back to myself and connect with what's inside of me. What is this call inside of me? Why is this coming up? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And why? And why? And why? One of the practices from years ago that I started was being a sacred observer of my experience, of my thoughts, of what's coming up. A sacred observer. So I could get to it. The beginning of my womb journey, I would go inside of my womb traumas. I would relive trigger, date rape. I would relive trigger. And I would go inside of it so I can experience it and look at, why did I choose this experience? This is years ago. I hear now there's like this, therapies that allow for you to do, like a type of memory recall and stuff like that. But my thing is, I don't spiritual bypass nothing. I want to experience, because I want to be sovereign and take ownership of my experiences and why and how and what happened, what led to, why did I choose this, and get into the root so I can stop harming myself. And I could choose well, and I could bless my lives. It's a continued devotion, Ashe. It's a continued devotion. Share this out, please. So I want everyone to get this within their system. Because the truth is, all of the conditions, good, bad, indifferent, whatever it is, you wanted it. And this is something that is very difficult for folks to accept when we weave and we move and we shift in getting out of the energy of victimization. When you are in a space of victimization and fear and terror, and your system is crazy and all this stuff, it makes it very, very difficult for you to experience love and peace and freedom and sovereignty. That's just the reality, because you're just in that state. That's why I said connect with the energy of feels so good, honey muse. And in that, allowing for that juice to come in to support you as you nourish the unraveling of patterns and the pain that you cause, that you call in, and your ancestors and the collective, as you do that work, connecting to the pleasure, because it helps and it blesses it. And again, repeat. Why? Because when we hear repetition, we learn and we get it, and we get it in our system. Because the truth is, you wanted it all in every person. Absolutely every experience you have given permission to. And this is something we remind ourselves of in devotion to sovereignty, even with our own ancestral energies, the unravel and the support. What does this mean? In regards to the ancestors, we have a mission there, which allows for truth to come up. We have a confession there. We recognize, we identify, this is the thing. We don't want this condition. Our life look this way. We don't want the fuck up. We want something better. Ba. And we call on in the energy of sovereignty and claiming and taking and saying, this belongs to me. I'm going to do, and I'm going to unravel the ancestral energies. And as I unravel the ancestral energies, I also call on the love and the support, the nurturing and the power and all of the grace of my well ancestors to come in and to hold me at the same time as I hold my sovereign self through womb, through pussy, through feminine system. That's the process. That's how I live, and that's what I teach. That's it. Very nuanced in a different way, in this way, in that way, but that is the essential in accessing your sovereignty and your soul sovereignty and power through the gateway of pussy, through the gateway of womb, through the gateway of heart, through the gateway of your highest and heads, your angel, your top angel, through the gateway of mother, to the gateway of holding, to the gateway of divine responsibility, through your whole system, inside out. So what does this mean? You are all powerful and sovereign in your reality. Yep, I'm going to point. That's a form of magic. In your reality, because I'm speaking to you. You are all powerful and sovereign in your reality and your experience. No one can stop you. If they can, it means that you are not powerful. If they can, it means that your ancestors are not powerful. If they can, it means that you are not sovereign. If they can, it means that you are not deeply loved and protected by way of truth and feeling. If they can, it means that you are not who you say you are and who you believe that you are and who you are always affirming over and over that you actually are. It's all false and null and void. And I can't believe that is true. Because every soul that comes to this planet is true and sovereign. Every single one. And so we remember and we remember and we remember and we remember and we remember. I am all powerful in my reality. All of it. Including you who's sitting here listening and who will listen as part of my reality. I am all powerful in my reality, and there is no greater force that is greater than me. I am all powerful in my reality, and there is no greater force that is greater than me. I am all powerful, all knowing, omniscient. And there is no greater power than Antoinette Nicole Doe. in my reality. And speak that for yourself. There's no greater power than you in your reality. You are fully sovereign. And this is actually true. This is actually true. I have been intentionally co-creating my life, oh my goodness, for a very long time now. I would say I remember when I actually tapped into co-creating my life, I don't know, 15 years ago or something like that, where I began to connect with spiritual laws and I spoke it. And I was just like, oh, this and this and this is going to happen in that order. Yes, some Christian magic. Yes, some laws, spiritual laws. Yes. But the consciousness of, holy shit, I am creating my reality. I'm God. Seated a long time ago, that energy just keeps getting served and served and served and served and served to where it's not just a continual handing over. It's not just a continual, I'm saved and I'm not speaking against Christian tradition. I'm talking about taking responsibility, because people take that energy of wanting savior and wanting to be saved, and they will leech onto other people's energy systems, because you feel like you're just grasping. I know it in my own body. And so how do I connect with sovereignty? What is the spiritual practice? What is the devotion? What is the prayers? What is the process? How do I nourish this in my system? And what is that brings me to that place? And how do I activate that? And this is where I go, because when I do this, I feel this. When I feel this, I feel sovereign. When I feel sovereign, I feel true. When I feel true, I feel love. When I feel power, I feel connected. I feel protected. I feel contained. And now I feel like, whew, I got the energy to apply my life force energy here, to do this, to do that, to experience this and this and that. And all of my energy, when we say we calling back our energy, well, honey, you can't call back your energy if you're not being responsible. You can't call back your energy if you're not looking, see what's going on, drop it down, doing the shadow work, going into the dark. This is dark season. This is the time. And you have dark season every single cycle in your natural womb cycle. You always have access to mystery and truth within yourself. Always. And that's what makes you powerful. That's what makes you powerful. So we unravel these egoic patterns and the egoic patterns that give energy to victimization. Victimization is the opposite of sovereignty. Period. Ain't nothing else. Within us, for the sake of freedom, for the sake of our peace, our prosperity, our blessing, our lineage, our ancestral lines. The kids, we won't even know that's going to be coming through our lineage, that we just going to be ancestors, right? In this particular time and space reality. Magic is not just about spells, potions, lotions, and things. It's about looking at the energetic patterns. What am I saying? Ancestral protective magic. It's not just about spells, lotion, potions, and things. It's about looking at the energetic patterns that cause forth these experiences in your feminine system for your highest good, for love, along with all of the support that is here for you on this earth side. The medicine, the traditional medicine. I believe, as I believe for myself, that we are fully and completely in control of our destiny through divine choice and soul sovereignty. This means we take, why am I saying this again? And why am I saying this again? And why am I saying this again? Why? Because we learn through repetition, and that's how we get things in our mind and in our system, and it connects to the truth. Because you hitting it. It's tapping like, oh, what? Tap, wake. This means we take responsibility for what is required of ourselves for what we truly want to experience in our life. Let me say it again. I believe you are fully in control through your own divine choices, and so am I, and that your soul is sovereign. This means I take full responsibility for what is required of you, for what you truly want and desire to experience, to express in your life on a deep soul level and by way of your own highest, most loving self. Womb alchemy, medicine, pussy alchemy, medicine, ancestral magic, the medicines of our ancestors, the traditions, all of the things, earth side, the angels, all of the forces in nature, all of this stuff that help us to govern and support us on the path, in our life path, to govern ourselves through peace, prosperity, blessings, all the things, as we unravel and as we bring forth and call forth love through our choices. That's the practice. That's the practice. Devotion equals practice. Devotion equals dedication and commitment. Devotion means this all belongs to me. Devotion means I allow for it. I long for it. I yearn for it. It feels good. It nourishes my soul. So I do this. Devotion equals power in a way to connect with sovereignty, divine sovereignty within you. The real protective magic is your sovereignty. I am in protection. Let me give you some mantras. And I am it through my choices and sovereign power. I am sovereign and I am connected, and nothing is outside of me. I am all powerful, knowing source, resource of my own life. Ashe. I am in protection and I am it. What does that mean? I surrender in the ways of my human to infinite divine protection, which is love, which is all the things, the protection prayers and all this stuff when you feel like your human needs that connection to the spirit and the energy, the magic, the truth of protection, because you call on it because there's love. When we call on ancestral protection, there's love. When we call on Orisha protection, there's love. When we call on the Loas, there's love. When we call on the river, there's love. When we call on Earth Mother, there's love. We're calling on love. And the feeling therein to feel protected in our human. Because the reality is, we are the protection. Is all in you. But how do you connect with it to bring it out of you? To mold and create your reality. Co-creation. Am I manifesting or am I actually creating? I'm not just responsive. I'm governess. I am leading feminine leadership. And I do that because I can. And I shall and I will. And I meet myself where I am. My goodness, I meet myself where I am. And so I surrender to that infinite. I call on the energy of protection to embrace me now. You just, you need to just feel that. You need to just feel it. So you can keep on walking in this human. And then what is in me that makes me feel like I'm not protected today at this moment? Oh my goodness, I send love ahead of me. So that ahead of me, I may feel protected. I send the angels ahead of me. I send my ORI ahead of me. I bless my ancestors ahead of me, the days to come. That I may in those days feel protected. It's a feeling. But the reality is, your protection is your sovereignty and your divine choice in all things. Even the stuff you be like, oh, I feel so ashamed that I've chosen. You chosen because it felt good. You wanted the experience. That's it. Okay, that's all. Choose again. Ooh, what's so wonderful that you could choose again? Oh, I felt that in my womb. Did you? I have the power to choose again. I have the power to choose again. I have the power to choose again and 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 again. I do. Because I'm sovereign and I give myself that choice by way of grace. If only by grace. And so we pray, and I bless you in this prayer. May I be safe from all inner and outer harm. Ultimately, the harming of my choosing. May I be safe from that. May I be pardoned, wholly pardoned. May I be full of grace in my human, that I may say from all inner, the ideas, the things, the energies that I have not yet unraveled, the stuff that I don't even know is there in my outer experience, and how I call these things to me, because it's in me, and there's a connection, it's a thread. Sovereign. Oh, dear Goddess, dear Mother, dear Father, dear Most Holy, dear all of my spiritual core, may I be safe from inner and outer harm. Ultimately, in knowing the truth is, because I take full responsibility and ownership, the harm of my choosing. Help me, help me, help me, help me, help me. Help me in the ways that I hurt and cause harm and block myself and others to feel safe. My protectors, my closing, my shell. Because, dear guys, I want to be open. I want to experience all of the love. I want to experience all of the good. I want to be fully expressed. I want it all. I came here for it. All of the experiences is all yours and mine. No one can cause you harm, including yourself, unless you agree to it. No one can cause you harm, including yourself, unless you agree to it. What does that look like for your ancestors? Well, real simple. You agreed to be born in this particular line. No one can cause you harm, including yourself, unless you're in agreement to it. That means you're all powerful. You are all powerful in your world. To be powerless or powerful, to feel protected or not to feel protected, is of my divine choosing. I am always choosing. I am always choosing. I am always choosing. I am always claiming what is true for me, unconsciously and consciously. And so on this Sunday, we're going to be connecting to these ancestral maternal lineage patterns, identifying them, what's going on with them, unraveling them, connecting with them, doing that in sisterhood, doing that in womb blessing. I'll give out the energizer, the womb energizer, all the things, but we're going to get to it. We're going to activate the energy of sovereignty. I'll talk about that a little bit more. We're going to activate the energy of sovereignty in our system. And we're going to nourish that energy by way of connecting to mother, connecting to the womb. And I will bless those of us to nourish our pleasure as we do this. Because, sensual and sexual energy is power, but it's also juice, and it keeps you going while you are in your dark season. right? This is the dark season. I bless y'all to go under, and I'm here for it. I am a dark goddess. And so I bless myself in love's protection in the ways that I lack sovereignty. So I bless myself in love's protection in the ways that I lack sovereignty. Protect me in the ways that I know and I don't know. Dear Holy Mother, dear Holy Father, dear Ori, my highest self, my own angel, dear womb, dear pussy, dear Mother Earth, dear all the forces of nature, dear love itself, infinite divine intelligence, dear universe, dear multiverses, dear whomever highest power, whatever you call on, however, dear holy body, help me in blessing. All the spiritual laws is wrapped in the law of blessing. So including divine love. So I bless myself in love's protection in the ways that I lack. I have a little limitation in my human, because it's human that we're talking about. Your human self, not your actual sovereign spirit. In my human, I feel like I lack sovereignty here, and I require protection here. There's a need for protection here in my thinking and how I'm moving. This is the alchemy I'm describing to you here. In the ways that I know and I may not know. I know better and I don't know. And now that I know better, I do better. But sometimes I fall back and I'm still working out this pattern. I still see the stuff and I don't want to see the stuff no more. Like, I'm tired. Help me, help me, help me, help me, help me. And let me just keep on doing it. Because sometimes those patterns, it's a long thread. And I'm just going to keep on. And eventually I won't see these behaviors and these conditions in my reality, in my human and in my sovereign soul self, right? Human being. Protect me through your wisdom that is always readily and available to me, and in the realms, those places where I can't see and fully understand in mystery. As I take accountability through the unravel, through the frequency of ravel of root patterns within me and my lineage, the causes of all conditions. In blessing, I know I am so sovereign and I am deeply supported by my ancestors. How do I know? Because they want well for me. So why? I call on the most whole, the most lovely, the most honorable ancestors, and those that are not. That's part of the energy that I am alchemizing and unraveling and bring illumination to in the mystery is what I bless. I bless that energy in me that's connected to those unwell ancestors in blessing for their evolution. And we bless them on their path. That does not mean I have to deal with them because I am sovereign. Even in ancestral tradition and connection, you do not. And so we connect to our most loving and whole ancestors who are supporting us. Like, let's go. I want the best for you. I already believe in you. Where you lacking faith right now, I got you. I got all the faith. Again, as I said last week, I have lived this. Our ancestors, our family, the folks that we knew, the folks that we don't, our folks. We take the, all the mystical stuff out of this, right? Like your mama knew, okay? I have all the power. Nothing outside of me is more powerful than me. I have all the power. There is nothing more powerful than me. I have all the power. There's nothing more powerful than me. The sovereignty in nourishing that power. And so I will say it again. The real protective magic is your sovereignty. Ashe. Period. Everything is everything is everything. Everything is everything. Yes, that's a hoodoo principle. Like that's just life. Everything is everything. Everything what? Everything is everything. What does that mean? Everything is everything. Everything is everything. Everything is everything. everything comes back around to bring us back to love and sweet sovereignty and good. And good. And so we bless us in that everything is everything and coming back around to our sweet sovereignty and goodness. Because ultimately you have to be, and I'm going to say have to be because it's a choice. Okay. I'm not going to imply, you need, I'm going to say, listen, you want to experience your power, you want to experience sovereignty, you want your divine birthright blessings. There's one thing that you must do. You must believe that you live in a universe that is supporting you. Period. Oh, yes, I have some ancestral things in my system and, whatever. I have some things in the feminine collective and, kind of bothers me sometimes, whatever. I have some choices that I make that, all this stuff that we are unraveling, all of these patterns, good and well. And guess what? I live in a supportive universe that got me, that's full of love, and everything is working out for my good, period, including that stuff. That's it. If you do not believe that you live in a friendly universe, it's all for nothing. Because you are always going to be defeating yourself over and over and over again. And blaming. And having a victim. And then going off and paying millions of dollars for folks to do protective magic, this and that. Obsessing over this and this and this and that. And just all the things. First, believe, and I bless you, that you are sovereign and you live in a universe that supports your sovereignty and that there is all love all around you, including you at all times. And therefore, you can be at ease. You can trust and you can activate. What does that mean? Ye of little faith. That means I just need more faith. Well, I could do that. Faith is a muscle. Faith is, okay, I need to believe more. How? Universe, show me. Okay, little things. Mother, show me a wink today. All right, I had to go out and get all my stuff, my manuals printed and stuff like that. And I said, you know what? I want some real paper. I'm going to print off my notes tonight. Because I typed them up and I'm going to print them off. Seem to be working a little bit more. Like an online womb journal works better for me, it looks, than the writing in the journal. So sometimes I just write, type it out, write it. And I wanted to feel the paper. And so I paid for some of my stuff to be printed off. And the sis, like, I forgot my notes. And the sis was just like, that's on me. Go ahead. Oh, wow. What a little wink from the mother. That was a wink of abundance. She just sent me some coins. Little winks, we connect to the energy of miraculous and miracle energy and through the power of faith. How? Gratitude makes it easier to be more faithful. Appreciation, graciousness makes it more easier to be faithful. Beauty, connected to the energy of beauty, makes it so much easier to be more faithful. Seeing the blessings and beauty all around you at all times. So it may not that you necessarily, you just need to nourish faith in your system. But you cannot connect to sovereignty and belief and esteem and confidence and all of these things to be governed in your life. Self-belief. All of this stuff that you want to have in you to strengthen good character so that you can co-create your life. Hold all your creations in your womb, birth them. Feel the goodness of life. All the love that you want. Love look like this and that for you. All of her features. Romance, baby, car, house, whatever. Ashe, life force, energy, ministry. Whatever your stuff is that you desire. Whatever that is for you. I don't know. Artist, however you want to be expressed. First, you must. It's a requirement. Believe that you live in a friendly universe. Therefore, there's all love that's here. So where do you really, really, truly need protection? In your thinking. In the patterning that's invoking that fear response and those responses within you. And so I get things and I do things, and all of these things allow me to experience the feeling of protection in my system, and I believe it, therefore it is. I believe that wearing this Ifa Ide is protecting me. I believe it. I believe wearing my Ushuni Lakey is doing whatever it's doing in my system. I believe when I put my face on, I feel pretty and therefore I am. I believe it and I permit it. Because the energy cannot work in your system if you don't give it permission. That's why I tell folks, I bless you in your ORI. That's when I'm saying my prayers for everybody. Womb Goddess Temple, everybody. I bless you in your ORI. I bless you in your higher self. Why? Because I need you to be in agreement with me for your good. Be in agreement for the medicine. Be in agreement. Be in agreement for your highest and best good for your first. Be in agreement for your first. You are your first goddess. You are your first God. You are your first. You are soul. You are sovereign. But you need to be in agreement with that truth. I live in a universe that cares the fuck and loves the fuck out of me. It's just disgusting. Oh my God, I'm so deeply loved. It's you ever just feel somebody they love you so much and you just be like, ugh. That's how much God, Goddess, Infinite Divine Intelligence love me. just nasty, Yup. I'm willing to believe that and I'm willing to see that. And I'm willing to have that in my experience. And you can't tell me nothing else. Because love is my medicine. Everything is everything. So, what do I want to say? Take up your peace in knowing that you never lose in love. There can never be loss. There's nothing to fear. There's nothing to fear because I'm never at a loss in love. Oh my goodness. I hope you get that in your human, in your soul, in your womb, in your mind, in your thoughts, in your belief system, in blessing your ancestral lines. There's nothing to fear. There's nothing to fear because you are never at a loss and you are always enveloped in infinite divine protection. Why? Because there is love here. There's always love. In you, through you, all around you. You just could feel the energy. Just connect. That's why I always talk about connection, the frequency of connection. I operate in frequency when I say unravel, when I say sovereignty, when I say connection, when I say it's the frequency. If you know I am connected, and my womb is centered in this connection. What does that mean? I, in my human, intranet, in my body, in my mind, in my human self. Whew, okay, boom, I'm back. I stepped out of my connection. I stepped out of my power. I stepped out of my sovereignty. I stepped out of love. I stepped out of my esteem. I stepped out. And I could choose again. I choose peace. Oh, I choose peace instead of this. I choose love. Oh, I choose love instead of this. I choose womb power. I choose womb power instead of this. Oh, I choose pleasure. I choose pleasure instead of this. And on and on. And I adjust and I adjust and I adjust and I adjust and I adjust. For the like I go to my chiropractor in my system. It's all love, always, and always, at all times. God is love. Goddess is love. The ancestors love. I put up that mantra the other day about love and the love of our ancestors. My ancestors' love gives me power. The love of my ancestors is my power. The love of my ancestor gives me power. My ancestral mamas give me power through their what? Love. My father hold me down through their love. They're committed to the love of me as their child in my small one, right? Such as I am as a mother. This stuff is not it's not out there. This your mom and them. So for me, I can connect far more easily because my mom is actually in the ancestral realm. So I am literally my ancestors. I know I lived and walked with, ate with, slept with. In the unknown. that I may have never met, but present themselves to me in support and in love, and present themselves to me in the ways for which I need to unravel in my system for my freedom, and thus their freedom, the line's freedom, the maternal line, the father line, my eggs, epigenetics, right? How in which my daughter holds her grandchildren. Oh my goodness. The responsibility. Bit by bit, day by day, devotion by devotion. Hope you're getting this. You are already deeply loved and protected, so allow for that truth to sink in and land in your body, in your heart, in your mind, in your soul. Oh, it feels so good to know I am sovereign in my heart, in my soul. I am deeply loved. I am protected, and I am the protection. The universe is on my side. There's nothing for me to fear. And in this way, by all means, understand I nourish the energy of surrender. I walk this, right? It's through surrender, though. It's through grace. It's through connecting to beauty. The beauty of this life and this experience. All of it. The universe is on my side. The universe is on your side. The multiverse, right? My goodness, I said before, there's multiverses in your womb. And given that truth, is that not a blessing of protection in itself? Let's just put two and two together like my mama said. If I carry the portal of life and death in my body as a female body, and then the essence of her, where in the world do I need protection? I am it. I am the protection. My goodness, thank you. I am the cloak of darkness, the covering, and I am the illumination, the light. I am it. Given that that's true, and I believe that it's true. I believe that it's true because of my what? My faith and my experiences and my nurturing nature that makes things possible. I serve that energy. I live that energy. I hold that energy. I connect with that energy. That is my frequency. Bit by bit, day by day, bit by bit, day by day. The womb goddess way. And in this, I breathe, I receive, I absorb, I live. I radiate love to myself and all of my reality and those in my reality, to all in blessing, as the mother does. Dear Mother, may I be that of your kindness and of your goodness, of your truth and of your power and of your sovereignty. May I be the protection. And may I surrender to the protection through you, through my ancestral mothers, through my fathers, through the blessing of the unraveling of these things that separate me from the truth of who I am, my destiny, my fulfillment, my life purpose, my pleasure, my joy, my goodness. Help me in all those ways in my human. And until I feel that esteem again and it's built back up and I sit in my seat as my mother. I am the protection. And I am inside of the protection. Womb goddess alchemy. Okay? I want to share something with y'all. Y'all still with me? I want to share something with y'all. Let me drink some water. So the other day, on Indigenous Day, we bless the Indigenous folks, the ancestors. I have Indigenous ancestry, in fact. So my husband, he felt a deep call to, he was in the kitchen, doing his thing. And he's just started ministering to me. And I was like, my goodness, babe, where are you getting these downloads? He like, oh, babe, we got to go pour our libations. It's Indigenous Day, because I was getting tired, y'all. It was about 10 o'clock or something like that. And I was just like, oh, my God, I would be remiss if I didn't post this Indigenous Ancestral Libation service that I did some years back. And I was just like, oh my goodness, I need to post something. At least let me serve the ancestral consciousness some way today. So I went ahead and posted, and I was holding the energy anyway of gratitude and thanksgiving in my heart. I said, let me go ahead and post and serve the energy in the collective. And my husband was in it. And he was like, we gotta go pour our libations and stuff and, do what we need to do. So he was just getting his messages, sharing with me, blessing my heart. Let me tell you something. There is nothing like a man who leads you in ancestral devotion and reverence, and going to pour that libation when your rump is tired. Okay. I'm not talking about like, just like all the extra woo-woo. I mean, like, listen, we're going to pour these libations, bless, and go ahead on the bed. All right. Solid. And so, a minute. And so he was just giving these messages, and I was like, wow, babe, I bless you. I thank you. So we got the water and stuff, went out, said our prayer. Both of us held the water. We said our blessings to Indigenous folks and the ancestors that's in our system and everything. Bless the mother, pouring libations, y'all. And so my husband found his spot. He poured his libation and stuff. We're talking about protection, and I follow. Poured his libation and everything. And I go to turn around, come back, pour the libation, boom, said a prayer, did our thing, right? I clapped my hands 3 times to open. I clapped my hands 3 times to close. Y'all, I was tired. I ain't grabbing no bell, nothing, okay? These hands make a joyful noise, okay? And so I said, Grace, da-da-da, turn back around. I felt this blessing come down on my head, y'all. This blessing came down on my head. And I was like, whew. And I saw my husband's ORI, and I was like, whew. We came back in, we held space, we dialogued, shared the messages and stuff. It was very beautiful on Indigenous Day, night. And it was such a beautiful devotion and sharing with each other and stuff like that. And I told him we really need to record our conversations. We be having some really good conversations. I'm like, we could bless folks with these conversations, but my husband, he anchored behind the scene. Bless him. I bless his head. I love him so much. I'm so blessed. And so we was having our conversations, and what happened was when I set the intention, he set the intention to go out, I felt some Indigenous ancestors come up to our door. And I was just like, babe, we gotta go. They here. Right. And then so we did it. And I was just like, okay, they here. Here's the thing. If you have not done land acknowledgement, do some land acknowledgement. See what Indigenous folks lived on your land, and all that stuff matters. I did that before. And so I had already started to develop a relationship with the Indigenous folks that live here. That's connected, actually, like my plot, like where my house is at. Right. And so I felt them come up. Did that, received the blessing in my head. I was like, whew, man, everything was just like, whew, a blessing. We sit back, we talking. Y'all, why I see my grandmother go out and start chopping it up with the Indigenous folks. We talking about a blessing on our head. What was she doing? What was she talking about? Well, you know what? My grandmother is the elder. I said, Mama done went outside, babe, and she chopping it up with these Indigenous folks out here. They in the front of my house chopping it up. And me and my husband, we just sitting in the living room talking, having our thing. And then he was just like, what are they talking about? I said, listen, that's grown folks' business. This is me being stay at a child's place. 40 years old. Listen. Them ancestors doing what they doing. I ain't worried about what they doing. Whatever they doing, I know, I trust, because I believe I live in a friendly universe. Some folks scared of their ancestors. Some folks stay scared of their ancestors. the disconnect. We want to bless that. And so I was just like, whatever them elder ancestors is doing, they doing what they doing. I ain't gonna worry about it, but I know it's a blessing because I felt it, right? The feeling, get it? And so I was like, yeah, I feel that. So we sit back, chopping up. And then shortly I start feeling the closing of the energy. And then I tapped in. And then Spirit revealed to me, I was just like, okay, let me just tap in a little bit, see if I can get a little something, right? I'm like a little kid tapping, like, let me peek it, right? I was like, can I just peek it just a little bit? So I got permitted. And I was just like, and I gave myself permission, let's say, I'm sovereign, right? So I was like, let me see what's going on, because this is affecting my sister, right? And so I was just like, let me see. So I got still, and I connected. And what I saw was my grandmother had asked for a protection agreement on my behalf, on all of our behalf, with those indigenous folks. Y'all, protection. How did I see that? I saw, and it reminded me of the Bible days, I saw like this blood. You know, the sacrifice of the story of I can't remember the Bible story, but they put the blood on the door so that whenever that curse would pass over their house, I can't remember. But anyway, that Bible story, y'all. And so I was just like, I had an energy, I had like this feeling in that. I was just like, oh man, that's a protection. That's a protection blessing that I felt on my head. And my grandmother had went out. And so I was like, wow, I'm just so blessed to have, first of all, I'm blessed for the consciousness, the ancestral consciousness. I'm blessed for the womb ancestral consciousness, but my goodness, I'm blessed for the ability to be able to see and understand and tap into mystery, to even be like, wow, holy cow, I received that ancestral blessing of divine protection and the agreement from the indigenous folks of this land. And that's what it was. It closed out. It was a blessed day, y'all. It was just a really blessed day. So I just want to share a little bit of connecting to my world with the energy of ancestral protection and devotion and what that looked like in like my experience. Right? Like I give so much thanks, and I've done, like I said, I opened up my ancestral season very early, like the second week of September. I've been in mother devotion all for all this time. I'm already going back to moving to father devotion. I devote myself to womb ancestral consciousness, and I really hold that every day, especially, we capped that, right? And this time of the seasons, ancestral season, Ashe. So divine protection embraces me now. So what do you do? Right? What do you do? I want to go in here, if y'all still with me, I want to go in here and talk about connecting in this through prayer and your human. But first, before I do that, I want to get real quick and tell you about the mother portal. Y'all know I've been posting up and down, but I want to get a little bit to talk to you about the mother portal. Then we're going to go to this prayer, and then lastly, I'm going to talk about beauty, right, and connecting to this to beauty. But before I do that, because I really want us to kind of tap in and go into prayer and feel this energy and bring it all together, I want to talk about this. And so then I'm going to bless you to go head on, okay? So let me get to this. I am calling forth those who is a yes in their pussy, their mind, their heart, their soul. Other than that, and you want to take the divine responsibility and sovereignty for your ancestral patterns, or as it relates to your mom. Other than that, don't come. Don't knock on my door, because I'm serious about the work, okay? So, I want to say this. Whether you work with me, because I'm back at work, privately or in temple as a group, a portal, container, however I'm holding it as group in my temple, I need you to know this one thing from this day forward, and I bless Womb Goddess Collective in temple, all souls who come through and knock on my door, is this one thing: in sovereignty. I will always hold you in sovereignty, because that's how I hold myself. What I do for me, of course, I live my medicine. I will always hold you in sovereignty. So there is not going to be a space for I feel like, somebody is attacking me or something. Where's the responsibility? And through love. But correction and adjusting this energy. Why? Because I want you to experience love and freedom and goodness. And it's just not true. Let's go in there and see, where are you permitting this? Where are you not nourishing sovereignty? Faith, what is the frequency? And let's get to it. Because you want to feel good. That's it. You want to feel good in your life. You want to feel love. So I'll always hold you in sovereignty as I hold myself. And in that sovereignty, this is how I emit and radiate divine protection for myself and for those in my container. In that adjustment, accountability is sovereignty, and so is acceptance. In nourishing wisdom, womb wisdom, ancestral wisdom, as we journey in life, in partnership, in connection, and however that looks. You on my feet, you're all the way in my temple, however it looks, this is my truth, and this is the law in my world. Okay? So what does this all mean? Let's bring it together before we do our closing prayer. Is that I want to invite you in, where we will be looking at and identifying feminine womb patterns as it relates to our ancestral mothers. Boom. The maternal lineage on both sides. We're not leaving out one side. We doing both sides, because everything matters. Everyone will receive a personal womb healing from me. It's called the Curated Energizer, to nourish your womb. And I will open up for my mediumship. I will do personal adjustments to your system. I will help you to identify the things. We're going to journey. We're going to write. This is a working. You're not just going to sit and listen to me and transmit and look at me look pretty. We are going to do lineage work. We're going to be doing some journeying and some writing and what's showing up, and allowing for ourselves to open and be vulnerable. We're going to do meditative journey. We're going to do the blessing. We are going to do the womb healing. This is lineage work, and it is a responsibility. I'm only calling for those who want to be responsible and sovereign. Period. So if that is a yes in your soul, then come on in. That's it, okay? That is what's happening. We are going to be journeying in this, in blessing, on this Sunday at 3 o'clock over Zoom. And the evening of the full moon, that night after the kids go to bed around this time, we gonna go ahead and do the Moon Mother blessing. When you sign up, you're going to get both of the containers. You're going to get it all through Womb Goddess Temple in the energy of Moon Mother. What does that look like? All of the Moon Mothers from around the world is going to be sending the womb blessing attunement for central energy and ancestral healing. At that time, I'm going to register you, set everything up so you can get the blessing energy, and you're going to get the guidance through me. We're going to sit. We're going to do the ancestral healing devotion prayer. We're going to do the womb blessing, connecting to the womb tree. We're going to go ahead and do the journey and connection and weaving out all the pussy, womb, all of that good stuff, right? We're going to do the feminine womb blessing on blessing day. So you will receive the energy, the frequency of the blessing, as well as connect with me in all that I emit as Moon Mother and a womb priestess as part of that lineage. And that is what we're going to do. So you're getting both of the containers. It's a privilege. It is a privilege to sit with me. That's it. It's a privilege because I'm going to tap into your system and see what's happening. We're going to do it together because I take personal responsibility for my expression in my work in the world. And this is what I was born to do. If this is not a solid yes, then this is not for you. It's just that simple. And that's okay. We connect however we connect. But this right here, womb ancestral healing, is my medicine. Okay? It's my medicine. And it's what I live. And it's how I live. Right? You can connect with me in a private womb immersion where we do womb ancestral divination and all of the things. But trust me, I always put womb and ancestral energy together. That is what I do. That's my own divination system. So this right here is for those who is a yes. And your pussy and your womb, you know that you want to do this lineage work with your mom and them. That's it. All right. I'll post the link. It's on Eventbrite. It's everywhere. Just come on. That's it. The closeout for that is 1 o'clock. Now, let's get to your human. 1 o'clock the day of, on the 17th. What does this look like when you're like, you know what, am I human? I know I do the alchemy, I do the prayers, I do all this. But on those days when I'm in my human and I feel like I need to connect to the energy of protection, I'm out of my alignment. In this moment, this is the way. Because you first need to acknowledge what you need. You confess. You admit. Why? Because that's the opening. You want to co-create something. You want to have something in your experience. You got to claim it, right? Say it and claim it. That's basic. That's basic, like 101. Learned that from Christian tradition. Like, that's basic, right? And so the same thing with your human in those moments. In this moment, I honor my desire for protection. In this moment, you see, because you're just saying in this moment, because this moment will pass. It will pass. It will pass. It will pass. I've been living long enough to know it's true. This too shall pass. But in this moment, my God, it's in this moment, my God, in this one, ancestral mamas, fathers, angels, dear Ori, love, however you pray to your highest power, the truth, your body, however that looks and feels to you in resonance of your own prayer power. In this moment, I honor my desire for protection, the frequency of protection. I ask that everything in me goes into total alignment with this desire. I surrender to love, a love that is far greater than me. I surrender to a life of ease and protection. Why? Because I'm feeling resistance here. In this moment, I honor my need for protection, the feeling of protection. I ask for divine protection to embrace me now. I ask for my ancestors to cover me now. I ask for a great mother to fill me with her love and her presence now. I ask for the feeling of protection. Because in my human, I'm in need. And then I ask for this to be easy, that I may receive the medicine in my system. I bless you in that. May the angel that is me, my own head, and the angels of divine protection that walk with me, your ancestors are angels too. High frequency angelic energy angel ancestors that walk with me in this earth realm, in the infinite realms, those places that I don't know or I could ever imagine. Go before me on this day, shielding my mind of all illusions of separation of love, shielding my body, my soul, my affairs, and all place in my care from negative influences and results, touching all experiences on this day. I fully receive these blessings. I allow it. I permit in the power of my own sovereignty. Thank you. Thank you for helping me. Thank you. Thank you for showing me. Thank you. Thank you for aligning me. Thank you. Thank you for filling me. Thank you. And connect to the spirit, to the frequency of protection to adjust you. What is that? It is love. What is that? It is blessing. I call forth the truth, the blessing that's behind the illusion. Blessing power in blessing. My soul is in complete and sovereign agreement of the protection of all things concerning me. All all things, all things. Everything in my life is protected through love, wisdom, and sovereignty, divine choice, and my responsibility. Even my most sincere and earnest desire of my small one. Because everything is working for the good. That I believe and I stand on. My time, my energy, my resources, my body, my soul, my affairs, my money, my blessings, my health, my wholeness, my relationships, my business, my kids, my mind, my pussy, my womb, my pelvic bowl, my heart, my worldly affairs, my desires, everything, my vision, my truth, my legacy, my power, my ashe, my clothes, my physical reality, that couch I want, that chair I want. All things is held in her, and you have access. Nothing, nobody, and nothing is keeping this from you. You don't need protection from anyone or anything. The force that is far greater than you in that moment truly is you, and is love. I'm done. Like I said, the real protective magic is the ownership, the claiming of your sovereignty. My goodness, isn't it good to know? Isn't it good to know? I report on behalf of the goddess. And it feels good to know. And it feels so good to know. Ooh! You see? My goodness. And it feels so good to know that I am sovereign. And it's true. Yes, it's true. I am sovereign. Tell yourself that when you feel disconnected. I am sovereign. It's true. I am sovereign. It's true. I am sovereign. It's true. I believe it's true. And I know, and I know, and I know, and I know, and I know. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I surrender. I don't know. Sometimes I just don't know. Feel the openness of don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I believe. I believe I'm sovereign. It's true. I do. I believe I'm sovereign. It's true. I do. I believe I'm sovereign. I'm sovereign. I believe it's true. My sovereignty is my protection. It feels so good to be sovereign, and I believe it's true. In my womb, in my heart, in my pussy, in my truth, I believe it's true. Through the power of love, my ancestors, I believe it's true. Because I live in a friendly mother universe, I believe it's true. I believe it's true because I live in a father universe, I believe it's true. I believe because I live in a universe that is it and has all the things in it. I believe it's true. I believe it's true. I believe it's true. In the ways that I don't believe it's true, I ask for faith. In those ways, I ask for my well ancestors to hold the faith. In those ways, I ask for the mother to hold me. Until I believe and I believe and believe, and I increase my faith, and I believe and I believe and I believe that it's true. That I sit here in my seat of sovereignty. All aligns with that. Until it is so, and it's so, and it's so, and so, and I see it, and so, and it's so, and so, and so. Through love. I bless you. 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 This is it. This is the energy for which I will be working in, teaching in, living in, preaching in, and all the things. This is core energy for Womb Goddess Temple, and particularly in the offerings that I will be giving and allowing a mother to hold me in. She's the holder. I am channeling. She's working through me. I don't do this on my own. Believe you me, I don't. I am human. And so I bless and I give thanks for the mind to live my full experience and my desires and expression. Did you know the reason why I decided to come and do this container in whole Womb Ancestral season this year? Simply because my womb required it of me. My enchantress, my priestess energy in my womb was just like, this is what I want you to do. You need to do this in order to be fully expressed. This is how I want to express through you. This is how my womb wants to express itself. Even my work, especially my work, everything that I do is through womb. So womb says this is what's necessary for adjusting and feeling expressed, then I'll do it. And whoever comes, come. If you feel called to come, use the Eventbrite link. If you feel like you want to connect with me a little more, DM me, inbox, however you need to do. Other than that, I bless you to join me. It's going to be a beautiful time. It's always a beautiful time. And we connect with the beauty, right? I want you to connect with the beauty of all of life. Connect with the sovereignty and the beauty of sovereign. Why? That's why we allow for pleasure. I didn't get a chance to get to the notes. I want to get to the notes real quick for that. But that's what we allow for pleasure. I know I was feeling something that I was leaving out. When we connect to the beauty, in order to make someone your enemy, you can't see them as human. Be human. This is the beauty. And connect with human. Take advantage of seeing people as human and yourself. Accepting those parts of you in your line. Unravel them in trust, in love, and no condemnation. Meaning, I release the judgment and the shame in my human as my human evolves. And so I am the evolving ancestor, right? Because it is so incredibly miraculous to take responsibility and to be sovereign and tap into power in your full birthright blessings. And it's supernatural. Like, whew, that experience I had with my grandmom and those ancestors. And then it's so incredibly just so human and it's so humbling at the same time. It's like, wow, I'm sitting here in my human, yet these whole experiences is like, it's miraculous. And that's what's so beautiful about being a human being. So I bless you in your human to recognize your fragility and your supernatural. Connect with the beauty and the strength of the beauty and the preciousness of your soul. And allow all of that to enrich in you, to be enriched, right? It's all about the enrichment, feeling the abundance that looks like love in all this way. Ancestral devotion. Womb ancestral devotion enriches me. And that's why I'm here. Ashe. In closing, in blessings, I bless you, I bless you, I bless you. Thank you so much for taking the time and listening to me and be part of this Womb Goddess Temple. I love you so very much, and it's true, I really do, because I am infinite love and I exude infinite love, and in love there is all powerful and all knowing. And so I bless you in that love, that divine love, that detached love, that true love. I love you, I bless you. I pray that this was a blessing to you, that your soul received, that your head receive, your womb, your pussy, your ancestral lineage, that even this transmission will activate within you and will unlock and open all truth for you. I bless you in the power of all knowing, all holding, all loving, infinite divine love. I bless you in your true sovereignty and in the protection of your sovereignty. Have a good night. Peace.